YouTube, welcome back to another video. So this is a follow-up video to kind of give you guys my first impressions, my experience so far with the Steam Deck. So I did an unboxing for you guys. It's probably been close to a week that I've had this device. And let me just say this, shout out to Valve, because this thing is absolutely amazing. I'm going to go out on a limb. I know it's November, so we still got another 2 months basically. But this is more than likely my favorite device of the year. This thing has been phenomenal. So let's talk about it. Build quality, I absolutely love it. I know in the unboxing, make sure you guys watch that if you haven't already. And make sure you subscribe and like the video, and there's going to be a lot more content coming on this device. But I set out the box. It was kind of heavy. You get used to it. So this is very well built. It feels nice and premium. I like the spacing here, and like I said, I do have large hands. I'm like 6'4", so I would hope that I have large hands. But it feels great to me. I don't know how it's going to feel to you guys when you get it and try it out. But for me, it feels very good. So the thumb triggers are great. The little mouse pads are fantastic, except for when you have to type out a lot. And we'll talk about that with the virtual keyboard. So there are accessories that you're going to want to pick up to make things a lot easier, especially if you're a person that likes to tinker with a lot of things. And this has definitely renewed my love for tinkering and adjusting and customizing devices. I haven't done that in years. I used to love rooting phones and doing all that fun stuff. So that has kind of brought me back into that world. So build quality, excellent on this device. Now, I did mention different things that you can do. This is really a computer, okay? So you do have desktop mode that you can go into here by just going into your settings, going into power, and then switching over to desktop. Now, when you do this, this is when I'm going to really recommend that you have a mouse and keyboard, so you can get a Bluetooth, you can get a dongle where you can attach all the different peripherals. And I plan on doing another video on the accessories that I've picked up to go along with this device, and some things that I already owned, including my portable monitor that I dug up out of the grave here that I'm going to use even more now with the Steam Deck. So just keep in mind, there are a lot of things that you are going to want to purchase just to make this device even more enjoyable. But you do get a full desktop here running Linux software. You get a full browser. You can download different browsers by just going into your Discover app here. And you could just search for so many different things, so much software out here. You can make it as close to like the Chromebook experience or even Windows if you'd like. So the device itself, it will have some limitations, but there is 16 gigs of RAM. So when you do hook this up to another monitor, you can do different windows and whatnot. But like I said, I'd love to cover that in the separate videos. But the gaming experience on here has been great. So I know a lot of people have huge Steam libraries. My library was not that extensive because I don't game as much as I used to when I was younger. But this device has made me want to pick up more titles. So you do get that ability to play full AAA games and other PC games, as well as emulation. So for those that are familiar with emulation and those that aren't, you can basically have your Steam Deck mimic all the old school systems that you may have owned, from Nintendo to Sega Genesis through PlayStation 3. So a lot of different emulation situations you can have on this device. Now, I was an owner of the Nintendo Switch. I had the original Switch as well as the Switch OLED that I did enjoy when I first got it, but I did notice over time I didn't really go back to it as much with my busy schedule. But I will say that this is just so much better as far as the out-of-the-box experience, meaning that I love the shape of the grips right out of the box here with the switch. It was very narrow. So for somebody with big hands, it wasn't the best experience. I mean, you can definitely add on different cases and switch out the Joy-Cons and do all that stuff to get a better experience. This device right out the box, ready to go, ready to play. The speaker quality is absolutely fantastic on this device. Plus, you get to add on your different headsets. You got your headphone jack. You have Bluetooth built in, which works right out of the box. I know with the Switch, for years, you couldn't even use a Bluetooth headset. And then they finally flipped the switch and allowed you to do that. So then I was able to connect my AirPods. But with this device, you can use gaming headsets. You can just use AirPods, whatever it is that you want. Or you can just enjoy it for the speaker quality that comes out here. You do have the fan at the top. I have sniffed the fan a couple times for those that own the Steam Deck already, but I am not addicted to it just yet. Maybe I have to play it for a few more hours to get into that. As far as the battery life, I have not run into a situation where I'm complaining about the battery life just yet, but I will admit that I haven't played these AAA titles for a long period of time to really pay attention to how fast the battery life would drop. If I can get 2 solid hours of gaming out of it, I think I would be okay with that, because I don't have too many situations where I can do more than 2 hours straight of gaming. My life isn't that laid back where I have that kind of time. I've got Carrington with her busy schedule, so I never have that many hours in a row where I could just sit down and really enjoy gaming. I am going on a cruise next month, so I'm really hoping to get some offline gaming going on and report back to you guys about my experience with that. But more to come. You'd have to be subscribed to make sure you keep track of all the content I plan on dropping on this thing. But for those that may be on the fence right now, I will say only owning this thing for close to a week, go ahead and take the plunge. It is well worth it. You can modify this thing to the gills. I haven't done much modification just yet. I did add a 1 terabyte card that I picked up through Amazon. It has been working fine. So I do recommend you at least get the SD card. I know a lot of people switch out the hard drive. I'm going to say that that would void your warranty. So be very careful if you decide to do that. So I don't encourage it. I know that there's videos out there that will show you a step-by-step, and it looks pretty simple to do. I just don't think that I would do it. But you know, you do have the option of just adding storage here via the SD card slot. So that's what I did. So this is the 64 gig model. No, it does not have the matte glass finish or whatnot that's on the more expensive model, but I have seen so many accessories on Amazon that can probably remedy that. You can get like a matte screen protector or whatever. I may pick one of those up just to see, you know, if it helps with the helps with the glare. But other than that, I have really been enjoying this thing. I've been playing a lot of my old school favorites from emulation, and even though you can pretty much use any device, like an Android device, and get all your emulators and whatnot, I just feel like this thing is just a perfect setup, the perfect piece of hardware to run emulation and run all your old games, because you do have the controller set up very versatile here with your D-pad and then the thumbsticks. I just feel like there is no task as far as gaming that this thing can't handle. So obviously there are going to be some limitations with graphical power because of how small this device is. It is not a PC replacement, but a great companion. So I have been enjoying it. There will be a lot more to come, including like an accessory video pretty soon, because I got a lot of different accessories for this device that I want to show you guys and how it interacts. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how your experience has been, if you have one of these or if you're thinking about picking one up, or if it's something that I can do and show you or answer for you. Now, I am not, like I said, I am a novice gamer, so if your question is too in-depth, I'm pretty sure I can point you in the right direction with a lot of different videos, but I'll never pretend to know everything. But I'm really enjoying this thing, guys. Pick one up Until the next one, peace.